Hi folks, today you're going to learn Chapter 13, Effective Delivery. So through this mini lesson, you're going to be able to explain why good delivery is important to successful speaking, the characteristics of effective delivery, different aspects of voice, and we're going to also review some physical actions as well. Good delivery can make the difference between a successful speech and an unsuccessful speech. When delivery becomes such a hindrance that the message can't be heard, then a successful speech communication situation cannot occur. Nonverbal communication is an art form. It involves your voice and your body and being able to effectively use gestures, tone, eye contact, and movement in order to fully engage your audience. Talking and speaking are very similar, yet they have some distinct differences. So when you are conveying a message clearly, interestingly, and without distraction, you are an effective speaker. Having a good conversation involves speaking directly, using vocal and facial expressiveness, and maintaining a lively sense of communication. Now, when you're talking casually versus formally speaking, we know that we are going to use some very distinct different gestures and movements, word choice, as well as pacing. So keep that in mind. There are four methods of delivering a speech. One is reading from a manuscript, one is reciting from memory, and one is delivering things impromptu. Extemporaneous speaking is what we do the most of, which is slightly memorized, using bullet points, and speaking naturally and having more of that conversation. So again, when you're asked what type of speaking do we do most often, it's going to be extemporaneous when it comes to public speaking. Now, reading from a manuscript, the challenge of this is that when you have a text in front of you, you naturally want to just read it. So make sure that it sounds natural. Use eye contact. Get out of the book, get out of the manuscript, and concentrate on talking. Usually graduation speeches are typically manuscript speeches. If you are in any sort of theatrical performance, this is when you're going to use a manuscript. Reciting from memory, again, that's going to be more of your theatrical performances. Those are really only good for short speeches where you have to convey something very clearly. If you have a job where you need to recite a script, this is reciting something from memory. And remembering the words becomes very, very important, but it often takes away from your ability to communicate naturally. Delivering something impromptu. Impromptu speaking happens all the time. That's with little or no preparation, especially in the workplace. This is how we are engaging with customers, engaging with our coworkers, etc. Organizing your thoughts becomes important. So again, have your intro, 3 main points, conclusion. Have your bullet points ready. Grab our attention, preview what you're going to say what you're going to say, and then review what you're going to say. That is the magic method. So that outline structure is evident in all speeches, even your impromptu speeches. Remember, eye contact, pacing, and reiterating those main ideas becomes so important. All right, extemporaneous speaking, this is what we do all the time. This is prepared in practice. This is you putting in the time. If you're taking 2 hours of class time, when you do the math and you add up 5 minutes from everyone, you need to put in the time to practice and make that time valuable. The advantages of extemporaneous speaking is that you have control over your ideas and your language. You can speak naturally and spontaneously, and you can have a conversation, utilizing vocal qualities, natural gestures, strong eye contact, etc. Now, what makes an effective speech? That's something you're going to explore this week as you reflect on your presentations and you reflect on your first speaking experience. Now, biggest suggestion, be natural, be true to yourself. Make sure that you are as calm as you can be. Take deep breaths. And know that the audience is rooting for you to be successful. If you do those things, you are going to have an effective speech. Effective speakers learn to control their voices to enhance their message. Volume, pitch, rate, not going too fast or going too slow. Effective pausing. These are all important characteristics. Vocal variety. Show us you're interested and you have energy behind the things that you're saying. Be lively, dynamic, and communicative. Think about your vocabulary and your word choice. Be articulate. All right, so effective speakers learn to use their body as well. Personal appearance. Dress for success. When you're dressed nicely, you look professional. When you look professional, the audience is automatically going to be on board with you. Movement. Use natural movements. In most speaking cases, you're going to keep your feet planted and just use gestures to emphasize your ideas. Eye contact is critical. People are so afraid of eye contact, or they're told, look above people's heads. Don't look above people's heads. It's weird when you're looking at the back of the wall and you're not looking at your audience. When you use eye contact, you will realize that people are there to root for you and they're there to support you. The more eye contact you use, the more effective your speech is going to be. So eye contact, common misnomer. Don't ignore the people in the audience. Really connect with them. All right, how can we improve your speech delivery? Well, review your speech and prepare out loud. Write the outline. That's why you have a full sentence outline. I know you reviewed that last week. Practice the speech using the outline. Use it as many times as you can. Then, step away from it. Polish and refine your delivery. Video record yourself. Use your phone so you can see what you're doing. Also, practice in front of people, or at least a mirror, or even your dog. That helps. And then dress for success. The earlier you start, the better. All right, answering the audience's questions. If you have a question, make sure you anticipate what the answer might be and react to that answer. Don't ask a question if you don't elicit an answer. Have a positive attitude. Listen to questions. Make sure that you are engaged with your audience. Now, presenting something online, as we're doing right now. Understand that the online environment is different. Understand software programs and be able to utilize the technology. Know that what happens on a camera seems 10 times more dramatic than not. So if you are presenting something online and it is face-to-face, be really careful with movements, be very subtle. Also give time to pause. It is important that pacing is something that you're considering. All right, folks. Well, hopefully you've learned a little bit more about delivery, and I can't wait till you deliver your next speech.